Hey everyone, Thornton here, and with the finals there seems to be a little bit of a discourse between whether or not it's catering to the casual player base or to a more hardcore player base. And with that, we're going to talk a little bit today about what is the future of the finals in terms of esports, which would be a huge boon to the player diversity and also bring in a whole new set of eyes to watch the game. We're going to go over all that, but without further ado, let's jump into the topic of the finals and esports. Esports is always going to be a really big contentious topic, especially when it comes into the category of first-person shooters, and the finals isn't going to be any difference, as it has emerged as a huge multiplayer focused game that combines competitive gameplay, strategic based combat, and innovative features that set the stage for a really successful esports venture, especially with a lot of teams and organizations looking for a new game to step into. But we're gonna go ahead and talk about, well, is this game actually esports ready? And while the finals does have colossal arenas, really fun destructible maps, and in-game commentators designed to emulate the excitement of actually watching real sports, it's kind of cool how this game actually feels like it's esports ready. The game is actually rooted in competitive and multiplayer focused gameplay, which is pretty ideal for an esports setting. The question though is if the AI powered commentators will add that immersive layer to the gaming experience, how that would work with actual esports casters, or if they're just going to go completely with the idea and route of AI. But probably the biggest thing that makes this esports ready is the fact that it is, well, a team-based strategy game. Like for instance, Cash Out, which is a 3v3v3 battle for looting vaults and securing cash, has a ton of tactical elements reminiscent of Capture the Flag, which you see in other esports titles. Along with that, the diverse set of characters with unique abilities and playstyles adds complexity to the gameplay and a unique flair, very similar to what Apex Legends does with its legend ability set that makes that a pretty fun esport to watch as well. However, the finals hasn't really fully embraced the esports scene, which makes sense. It's a pretty new game, so it wouldn't really be ready to do that right away. However, there is evidence of the fact that it does want to do something with it, because there is a ranked mode, tournaments, and a leaderboard with the top 10 players, which seems to indicate that they do want to at some point cater to that competitive side. The free-to-play model actually makes it very accessible for anyone that wants to hop in, very similar to what we see with a couple of other games. And when you attract millions of players across platforms including PC, Xbox, and PlayStation 5, you're gonna get a lot of really talented players that are ready to take that jump to a professional level. It's just whether or not there will be infrastructure based off the size of Embark Studios, being a fairly small independent studio that doesn't have some of the backing of some of the bigger titles. It's also kind of curious if the finals actually wants to go a competitive route, as one of the developers actually posted on Discord that they wanted to focus on making it fun first, but it's not out of the question that there will be a more competitive development in the future if people want to see it. So right now they're actually catering much more to the casual player base, even though it doesn't always feel like that, especially with the aim assist nerf. But I think that was actually done so that they make it more competitive for esports in the future. Along with that, there's been a bunch of buffs and nerfs, and it will be interesting to see how they continue to kind of adjust with that if they end up building a pro scene. We do know that there is skill-based matchmaking in the game, and that's always added to up player engagement, balance player skill levels. So it is clear that Embark Studios is going to continue to grind that out, but I don't know if they're going to have to introduce a brand new mode, which I don't think is the worst idea for an esports title, or if they would continue with the same modes that are popular right now in the ranked session. I will say that if the finals doesn't do an esports scene, it will probably impact the game's longevity and its long-term popularity. Almost every popular FPS game has a thriving pro scene that has teams compete against each other with massive streamers, and unless Embark decides to do that as well, it could cause major issues in the near future. However, there is a plus side, because a lot of casual players don't like when the game is balanced with buffs and nerfs according to what pros want. So if there's no pro scene, pros won't have that kind of feedback, and so the meta will be very much adjusted on what the casual player base kind of wants to see, which could also in turn help the game last for a very long time. So it'll be interesting to see how Embark, finals, and the player base reacts to more and more competitive things being added to this game. Let me know down below, what are your guys' thoughts? Would you like to see the finals become a competitive FPS game and have a thriving esports scene, or would you rather have it focus more on the casual player base? And as always, don't forget to check out this channel right here by my editor Novell, and thanks for coming into the video, and I'll see you in the next one.